5 News starts now with breaking news.
All right, folks, this breaking news at 4. Major developments in our investigation of Charleston County Schools and how they handled an employee named Marvin Gathers. While police were investigating him for child pornography on his computer, the Charleston County School District allowed Gathers back to work at a local elementary school. Then they promoted him and named him Employee of the Year, all while Gathers was allegedly molesting several young boys in the school. Now, we've just gotten a copy of the school district's internal report on this entire crisis. Their investigation, prompted by our investigation by Carter Coyle, who's been working on the story for months now. Carter, you have been waiting to get your hands on this report. You have it now, so I got to ask you, what does it reveal?
Well, this report says that former Associate Superintendent Dr. James Winbush was the administrator who decided to allow Gathers back to work at Dunston Elementary just days after the district's own IT department raised the red flag that child pornography was found on Gathers' school laptop. And not only were he and Gathers friends who had worked together for years, but also Winbush had loaned Gathers money.
Now, we have live coverage as we break down the details of this new lawsuit. Investigative reporter Carter Coyle, who originally broke the story, is here with us in the studio. But first, the lead attorney on this investigation, Mark Pepper, is holding a news conference on the steps of the school district office downtown right now.
We want to thank everybody for being here today. This is the start of what's going to be a long journey to heal for various victims of Marvin Gathers, including victim John Doe, as named in our complaint, that we served on the school district, as well as the other defendants about an hour ago this morning. I want to thank the media for the attention they've given this story, especially Channel 5.
We have our live team coverage this afternoon. Carter Coyle uncovered the story and talked to the victim's mother. You'll want to hear what the mother has to say. But first, Colby Satterfield went through that lawsuit. Colby joins us live now at the Charleston County School District headquarters.
And Colby, what did you find out from that lawsuit?
This lawsuit accuses former CCSD employee Marvin Gathers of physically and sexually abusing a 7-year-old boy.
Waterfowl Lane, you guys have got a cop being shot at. There's got a high-power rifle shooting at me. Get people out here now.
A string of gunfire for almost half an hour. The target was a Berkeley County Sheriff cruiser, with this deputy hiding behind it to save his life. This all happened 2 months ago in Hugie.
So knowing that body armor is there to help protect you does give you that little bit of peace of mind that there is that safety for you.
John Blackman used to work as a deputy for the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office and as an officer with the Hanahan Police Department. Now he's the president of the Tri-County Fraternal Order of Police.
We want to make sure our officers are protected and that they've got the best equipment that they can get.
But I found out some of the vests that our officers are wearing are not the best they can get. After months of requesting public records, combing through data, and pressuring local agencies, I learned our officers are using dozens of bulletproof vests that are past their expiration dates.
In the next few hours, thousands of teachers from across our state will be rallying at the State House.
Colleton County and Dorchester District 2, they're closed today as teachers push for education reform.
And we are on your side every step of the way today. We're following the teachers at the rally. We'll see how lawmakers are reacting and how this is affecting your kids.
Right now, Michael Higdon, she's in the First Alert Center following any updates ahead of the rally, and Rob Way has a rundown of the events happening today.
But we'll start with Alyssa Holmes, who explains why these teachers are choosing to rally.
And we will be following along and keeping you updated. This bus leaves in just about 10 minutes.
You're taking a look at a shot from the sky there, and you can see the State House in the background, that sea of red there in front of the State House.
You hear them chanting behind me. The speakers are still going on. Then the marchers will go down Gervais Street, many of them with signs. Now, the Lowcountry is well represented here with the teachers from all over the state at this sea of red.
What's the message you were getting from the district before coming here?
Driver limousines!
We're rewarding bad behavior. That's the way I look at it. Now that I know about this payout and our Chase from last year, to me, I think he just ran because he thought, hey, I'll get another payout. And that's not right. I mean, that's my tax dollars and your tax dollars.
Had an asthma attack after being in the room for 2 minutes.
Both teacher and teacher assistant are experiencing breathing issues.
My air conditioning smells like mold.
Complaints from principals, teachers, and even the custodians who help clean the classroom in Low Country schools.
I think it's what's making me sick.
Describe trouble breathing, sinus, and respiratory issues inside their schools. All these people believe the problem is mold hiding behind classroom walls. The walls, the floor, the chairs, the desks, and on books. Nearly every school in the Tri-County area has complaints. We've compiled thousands of them. Some show students are getting sick because of it.
I'm still down by the Charleston City Market on Church Street. Take a look behind me here. You can just get a sense of how strong the wind is. Now, we've really started to see it pick up over the past hour, but take a look at this. We have an awning that is down right here. Now, this is outside Bird's Famous Cookies and the Spice and Tea Exchange, and you can just see the damage goes all the way down the street here on Church Street to all these different awnings, but that's not all. If you come over here as well, you can get a sense of this too. We have a downed street light here. It's a stop sign here on South Market Street.
Back down on Front Street, Raphael, where we noticed a lot of business owners coming to check out how bad the damage and the flooding was. This is that area of Front Street in Orange. It's been flooded really since about 11 o'clock this morning. Now we're here at the New Beginnings Hair Nail Salon. The owners just got here to check and see how things were looking. Unfortunately, it's pretty flooded, guys.
Oh,
flip it around.
There is a tree in the roadway, and we
Highway
can't
78.
pass on Highway. Let's flip it. Right in front of us, you can kind of see we're on Highway 78, and we can't actually pass through here now.
We can't. So we're going to do a flip around really quickly. There was a car that just came around the other side, so I want to be really careful with this. But this is just as you are headed towards Somerville on Highway 78, right past the Ladson Exchange Fairgrounds. We're going to be real careful right here. But if you take a look, oh, and it's brought down power lines as well.
We will continue to bring you updates from here, but right now this is the brunt of what we have seen so far in Mount Pleasant at Waterfront Park. Stay with us. We'll bring you all the information coming up here in just a few more minutes.
Take a look at this video. I took this from our car because I did not want to get out because, as you can see, there is so much water in the road. You never want to go near those electric wires. But there were certainly explosions you could hear from blocks away, and that is how we heard it all.
The biggest predicament we've had over the last hour, you can see right over here, they've taken down the last volleyball court net. So the fun is over here on Folly Beach. It is time to get serious. There's no more volleyball to be played. This storm is coming. Everyone is getting ready.
The latest satellite imagery, notice how it is tugging to the north, chugging to the north, and then all of a sudden there's a little bit of a turn in the last hour or so off to the northeast. We want that.
One of our volunteers here is Mayor John Tecklenburg from Charleston. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Well, thank you. First, thanks to Channel 5 for this incredible citizen service, and the phones are lighting up right now. Y'all have done a great job of getting information out to our citizens when they need it.
Today marks 4 years since a white supremacist opened fire at Mother Emanuel AME Church in downtown Charleston in a hate-filled crime that killed 9 black churchgoers.
It's a day that we here in Charleston and those around South Carolina and the nation will never forget. We have team coverage this morning as we honor the Emanuel 9. Rob Way is on James Island, where the Emanuel documentary will be shown today.
But first, we want to go to Alyssa Holmes, who is outside Mother Emanuel this morning. And Alyssa, you got the chance to speak with one of the victims' families.
Now that's right, Kyle. I did speak with the family of Tawanza Sanders, healing from the pain of what happened inside this church 4 years ago. It's a task for all of the families involved, but they've all dedicated their time to making sure that those 9 lives heal the community in some way.
Live 5 News starts now with breaking news.
We are following breaking news right now. This time it's in West Ashley.
Our Colby Satterfield just got on the scene at Citadel Mall. Colby, there is a heavy police presence there at the mall. What can you tell us?
Bill, all we know right now is that it is just that, a heavy police presence, but I got here about 15 minutes ago before all this crime scene tape was put up, and I drove down there where you see that heavy police presence before the ambulance got there.
I saw someone laying on the ground, and people, it looked just like passerbyers trying to resuscitate someone laying on the ground.
One of our producers, Danielle Herman, is inside the mall right now.
In fact, she's locked inside the mall. She can't get out. Danielle, you were close to Planet Fitness. Tell us what happened to you.
Hey guys, I just walked out of the gym about 10 minutes ago. We've got 25 people standing out here, and we can't leave.
Multiple police investigations are underway tonight. Live 5 News has been all across the Lowcountry following the latest on 2 separate incidents. We start things out in Huger, South Carolina, where Berkeley County deputies responded to what they had been calling an active shooter situation. We do know at this moment that the suspect is dead.
The town of Mount Pleasant is hoping a judge will block the release of a police report involving a town official.
Police reporter Harv Jacobs joins us live from the newsroom. And Harv, you've been trying to get this document for several months, and now the lawyers are throwing up a new legal roadblock.
Yes, Ann and Bill, Live 5 has been named in this court document. It all stems from a request for a report of an alleged assault at Carriole Middle School that happened last October. The apparent victim is the daughter of the town official. The official's name is hidden in the report, which we maintain is a violation of the Freedom of Information Act.
It's been 30 years since Hurricane Hugo slammed into our coast, changed us forever. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh. You know, back then, before Super Doppler, before high-resolution models, it was a sense of community and experience that got us through.
The increased forward speed and the increased winds are making this a very severe storm.
The late, great Charlie Hall was the calm voice as the most powerful storm to hit the U.S. in decades approached. The radar was 1950s vintage, and the official National Hurricane Forecast only went out 3 days, but coastal South Carolina officials took the warnings seriously.
Lincoln High was the designated safe place for McClellanville residents the night of Hugo, but it turned out to be just the opposite. The people who spent the night here thought they were going to die. Marie Facine was a girl when Hugo roared into town. Everyone but her dad decided to head to Lincoln High that Thursday evening.
I was only 10 years old, so it was kind of a fun day, you know, almost like a sleepover, you know, everybody with pillows and blankets.
Marie and her family were assigned to the band room located at the back of the school. They headed that way around 8:30.
We could hear the wind outside. Occasionally the door and the windows would rattle. But again, we were just playing games and having fun, almost like a sleepover.
Around 12:30 that night, everyone started to settle down and go to sleep. But about 30 minutes later, water started seeping under the door.
At first, it started coming in very slow. And then the band room actually has steps down, so the water started filling the very bottom of the band room area. And at that time, we started stacking tables and chairs, and that's where we started to stand on top of tables and chairs.
In some parts of the school, people were putting their children in the ceiling to keep them out of the water. Marie was standing on a chair on top of a table.
The water actually got up to probably almost to my shoulders at that point in the band room area. And then remember, we didn't have any electricity, so it was also very dark. So not only are we, you know, the water's coming in, but it's also dark. You can't really see who's next to you, what's next to you at that point. So yeah, it was very scary.
Marie wasn't going to be able to keep her head above water for much longer, and her mother knew it.
She was standing on top of the table next to me, and as the water began to rise, she grabbed me and put me on her shoulder.
Marie stayed perched on her mom's shoulders for about an hour and a half until finally the water started to recede a little and she could stand on her own again. The entire night they were standing on tables and chairs in Hugo floodwater.
We sang, we prayed, yes ma'am. We sang, we definitely sang and we prayed.
And although no one ever said the words out loud, death was on everyone's mind.
I did not think we were going to make it through the night. It was just that scary. And of course, for a 10-year-old at that time, to think that, you know, you're probably going to die, not even really knowing what dying means at that point, it was just terrifying. It really was.
This plaque marks the official water line inside Lincoln High that night. Look how high it is over Marie's head even now as a full-grown adult. McClellanville Mayor Rutledge Leland says emergency officials thought the school would have been a safe place for a shelter.
It's a long way from the water, and nobody would have ever thought that that would be a problem, but as it turns out, it was not that high above sea level, and the water came in from the northern part of town and came right into Lincoln.
The mayor says because of what happened here at Lincoln High, there's no longer a designated shelter here in McClellanville. Instead, folks are simply urged to get out.
For the second time in 3 years, the college football championship belongs in the upstate of South Carolina after Clemson dominates Alabama with a 44-16 victory. Huge night from the true freshman quarterback Trevor Lawrence, throws for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's the MVP as Dabo Swinney wins his second championship, dominating his former school.
About a month ago, Nancy Vega was scouring the internet looking for ways to make extra cash. She came across an ad on Craigslist that looked like easy money just in time for Christmas.
I'd heard of car wraps before and other people doing them, so I thought, oh, here's finally the opportunity for me.
Heartbreak is nothing new, especially if you put your heart out there, but tens of thousands of people have literally put a price on their own heartache. The Federal Trade Commission just released new data ahead of Valentine's Day, highlighting online romance scams, and the numbers are startling.
When you think of the number 11, you might think of a football team. But for Karen and Dion DeRico, that's how many kids they have. And among that group of 11, you'll find a set of twins, triplets, and quintuplets. Karen grew up in King Street, and she brought the whole gang home to meet her family. Get ready to meet the DeRico kids. Keep up now. There is big sister Darian, age 13. Next is big brother Derek. He's 8. Right behind him are twin brothers, Dallas and Denver, age 7. Now, here come the 5-year-old quintuplets, Danico, Darius, Diani, Dacian, and Dayton. I'm not done yet. Mom and Dad are holding the 2 surviving triplets, Diaz and Dior. Their brother Carter went to heaven shortly after he was born. Karen grew up in King Street, and this is the first time that she and hubby Dion have brought all 11 of their children home for a visit. Yay! Teacher Madison Hines says her students have different sensory needs, which means learning the alphabet and numbers are more challenging. But something called a color-changing light table would benefit all of the students no matter their disability. Her request on the Donors Choose website is, let there be light. She explains adding color and light will make learning these necessary skills enjoyable by grabbing my students' attention, unlike typical classroom manipulatives are able to. Help bring light to the special needs students in Ms. Hines' class. Just $206 will complete her request.
Live 5 News starts now with breaking news.
We are following breaking news right now. This time it's in West Ashley.
Our Colby Satterfield just got on the scene at Citadel Mall. Colby, there is a heavy police presence there at the mall. What can you tell us?
Bill, all we know right now is that it is just that, a heavy police presence, but I got here about 15 minutes ago before all this crime scene tape was put up, and I drove down there where you see that heavy police presence. Before the ambulance got there, I saw someone laying on the ground, and people, it looked just like passerbyers trying to resuscitate someone laying on the ground. That is what it appeared to me, looking like they were doing chest compressions. Officers said that I needed to not park down there. I didn't know what was going on at the time, and to move up here because they said the ambulance was going to be coming through. You can see that ambulance is down there now, and there is a blue tarp up where that person was laying on the ground. Again, that's all we know right now, but this is a huge perimeter. This entire parking lot here at West Ashley, if you're familiar with the Citadel Mall, it's right by where they're putting in that new MUSC campus portion of the hospital, in between that and the food court. Again, all we know from officials right now is this is a heavy police presence at the Citadel Mall in West Ashley. Again, whenever I got here, saw someone laying on the ground, clearly very injured, not sure what happened, but saw someone and multiple people looking like they were trying to resuscitate, looking like they were doing chest compressions. That's all we know at this point. But as soon as we learn more, of course, we'll keep you covered here from West Ashley. Live at the Citadel Mall, Colby Satterfield, Live 5 News.
All right, Colby, thanks so much. Right now, we continue to follow other breaking news, this time out of Huger in Berkeley County, where deputies say they're on the scene of what officials are calling or were calling an active shooter situation.
Our crew on the scene, Bill, is saying that authorities are leaving the scene right now. United Drive has been closed to the public, which means if you have to drive in this area, you may not be allowed through until that scene is cleared. We do know Mount Pleasant deployed their armored vehicle that way to help with this situation, and there has been a massive response from law enforcement and emergency personnel there.
We've heard from plenty of viewers, Debbie, the sheer number of police cars driving to the scene in Huger in Berkeley County. We have 2 news crews there or on the way. We're going to keep checking in with you and with them to keep you updated again on a shooting in Huger in Berkeley County. Now, a number of frantic people inside Northwoods Mall last Friday. Many of them calling 911 from inside stores, believing there was an active shooter inside the mall. Charleston County dispatchers' phones were ringing off the hook for almost 15 minutes last Friday. I want you to listen to one of those calls.
People were running everywhere, but there is an active shooter in Northwoods Mall.
What's the address of the emergency?
It's Northwoods Mall. There was a shooting in the mall.
North Charleston police have identified 2 men and a woman wanted for questioning in connection with that shooting. Here they are. They are Matthew James, Diamond Floyd, and Shamar Stanley. They're all wanted. Police say James has outstanding warrants with the Charleston County Sheriff's Office as well. Right now, Lowcountry teachers are complaining about moldy classrooms and the side effects that come with it.
Colleton County has had dozens of work orders coming in for mold over the last 5 years. Many of the work orders describe teachers and school staff having difficulty breathing inside the classrooms and instances where books, desks, and chairs are covered with mold.
We have to, first off, put the building or the office or the room under negative air pressure and contain what's happening in that space. And then through a cleaning process, multiple steps, we physically remove the mold that happens to show up.
Work orders also show problems in individual classrooms that span years. Some teachers noting the reoccurring issues and again asking for something to finally be done to resolve the problem. But Blakeney said he doesn't know of any repeat areas, and he said the district takes mold very seriously. Lawyers for the College of Charleston and former baseball coach Matt Heath are set to go before a federal judge, Richard Gergel, on Monday afternoon. Attorneys on both sides have argued over allegations that athletic director Matt Roberts and current coach Chet Holbrook talked about the job before Heath was fired in 2017, and there's been a dispute over claims that records of those conversations had been deleted from cell phones and computers. Roberts has sworn there was no communication about the job before Heath was fired, but attorneys for Heath argue a text from Holbrook to his father disputes that claim. In documents filed last week, the College of Charleston attorneys maintained that text from Holbrook to his dad was private, and the University of South Carolina coach was worried about stressing his ailing father about possibly losing his job at USC. In court filings today, Heath's attorneys document a $602,000 settlement payment as part of Holbrook's deal to resign from USC and maintain he had no reason to be concerned about his financial future. Heath's lawyers are asking to take the case to court and not to be held to a settlement agreement that had been reached in October.
A firefighter injured today here while responding to a house fire in Goose Creek. He is now out of the hospital tonight. Goose Creek fire crews tell us he hurt his leg during the fire at a home on Weeks Avenue this morning. They say that house, which you're looking at now, is potentially a complete loss. Smoke showing from all sides of the house and flames were in the attic when firefighters arrived. The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
We continue to follow that breaking news in West Ashley at the Citadel Mall.
Colby Satterfield just got on the scene a few minutes ago at the mall. Colby, we talked about a heavy police presence there. You said you saw a woman lying on the ground when you arrived. Is that right?
I'm not sure if it was a woman, Bill and Debbie. I just know that I saw someone laying on the ground. Several people were surrounding that person, looking like they were trying to resuscitate them and looking like they were doing chest compressions. I'm going to move out of the way so you can actually see what's going on here. Whenever I got here, they asked me to move my car so the ambulance could come. The ambulance has come, but it is still here. It's not left. The lights are off now, and there is a tarp down there where I saw that person lying on the ground. This entire parking lot completely marked off by crime scene tape. People park here too. A lot of cars here. No one is allowed in this crime scene right now. In fact, they keep extending it further and further into the parking lot. Now it's at the food court area. Now again, this is right where they are building that MUSC campus at the Citadel Mall. That's the area that they have roped off right now. Again, no word from the Charleston Police Department on what exactly they are responding to here. All we know right now is that there is a heavy police presence here at the Citadel Mall. I'm going to stay here and try to work to get more details, and I will bring them to you live. I'm live at the Citadel Mall in West Ashley. Colby Satterfield, Y5 News.
And now we're going to go back to our breaking news in UG. Alexis Simmons is there.
Alexis, what can you tell us so far? It appears, from our point of view, the active shooter situation may be over. Is it? Alexis, can you hear us? Well, folks, we're trying to get Alexis.
You know, Bill,
can you all
hear me clearly now? I know that cell phone coverage is very sketchy.
I just heard her. We can hear you now. Can you hear us?
You can hear me now.
Alexis,
yes,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
This is the latest information we have. In the next 10 or 15 minutes, we're actually going to be getting an update from the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office. They are preparing for a news conference that should be starting soon. But here is what we know at this point. We have just learned that the incident location of this active shooter situation is actually on Waterfowl Lane. They say they had shut down United Drive as a precaution to keep people from going down United Drive so they would not get to the scene. In the last 5 minutes, they actually just opened up United Drive for the people who live on that road. There were people who were waiting for over an hour to get to their home because of this active shooter situation. At this point, we do not know if there were any victims in this active shooter situation. We are waiting to learn an update on that as we speak. But I will tell you that they are still encouraging people to stay away from United Drive if possible, because once you get down that road, it's a very, very long road, very rural area, lots of trees, lots of homes that surround that area. They don't want people going back there because that there is still a scene at this point. I'll also add that they had a chopper go in the air in the last 15 minutes. They also have several agencies that are responding, including Mount Pleasant. There's Berkeley County Sheriff's Office, Highway Patrol, and other emergency officials. But we will provide you with the latest update coming up in about 10 minutes from this press conference they are setting up right now as we speak.
All right, Alexis, thank you. We're talking now with Alexis Simmons on the scene in Berkeley County in UG, and she updated us by saying the shooting, we believe it was a shooting, happened on Waterfowl Lane, not United Lane, but United was closed down because of the incident.
United Drive at 41, apparently a congested area with so many first responders. We had reports from a number of our viewers that they kept seeing multiple cruisers run by and head to that area, and apparently dozens from Goose Creek and all over the area, Mount Pleasant, Moncks Corner, responding to that scene, along with Berkeley County, which has jurisdiction there along United Drive.
We will continue to follow the story and carry that news conference when we get it here on Live 5.
We are back with the breaking news at the Citadel Mall. The incident there being called a weapons incident. One of our producers, Danielle Herman, is inside the mall right now.
In fact, she's locked inside the mall. She can't get out. Danielle, you were close to Planet Fitness. Tell us what happened to you.
Hey guys, I just walked out of the gym about 10 minutes ago. We've got 25 people standing out here, and we can't leave. It's all locked. All doors are locked. But business as usual. All the other stores are open around here. But yeah, we haven't been told anything by security, just that we can't go outside.
Did you hear any shots fired? Apparently this is being called a weapons incident. Did you hear anything at all while you were inside the mall?
No. I actually was in the gym and saw our Wi-Fi notification on our phone, tried to leave and couldn't get out to my car.
Danielle, what are you and the other people talking about? I know there are other people there outside the gym and certainly inside Planet Fitness at the mall. What kinds of things are they saying? What have they told you they've heard?
Nobody's heard or seen anything. I don't even see any police lights outside in the parking lot. Everyone's pretty confused as to what's going on. All I know is what Wi-Fi has pushed out so far. But yeah, so far nobody really knows what's going on.
Danielle, have you been told by authorities to stay put, or are you able to walk through the mall? You said the stores are open and it seems to be business as usual there. So what about other parts of the mall?
Yeah, I haven't tried going to other entrances or exits yet because it's on the other side of the mall. But all the stores seem to be open, but no security or law enforcement has told us anything.
Well, just to update you on what Colby Satterfield told us, Danielle, by the way, we're talking to Live 5 producer Danielle Herman inside Citadel Mall. She's locked inside there. Colby Satterfield on the outside, Danielle, is telling us she came upon somebody lying on the pavement outside the mall, and it looked like they were doing resuscitation techniques to try to keep that person alive.
Yeah, we haven't heard any of that, but definitely let you guys know if we see anything else. We don't see any kind of lights or anything outside the parking lot from here.
Quickly, really quickly, Danielle, when you went to try to leave, was there someone there or you just found the doors locked?
No, everyone's sitting around, the doors are locked, all the doors.
All right, Danielle Herman, they're live inside Citadel Mall.
And she can't get out, so. And we've got people outside the mall. We've got Colby Satterfield. When we get more information from Colby live on the scene, we'll bring it to you here at Live 5. In the meantime, what about this weather?
We'll check in with our chief meteorologist, Bill Walsh, standing by with the forecast. Hey, Bill.
Hey, guys. Yeah, we're continuing to watch some big changes on the way as we make our way now through what has been a pretty comfortable Tuesday. And again, this is the deal. We're going to start tonight, not just with tomorrow. We're going to talk about the next big thing. And what that next big thing
now
for your weather is now, it's not really now, but it's into the end of the week. It's the cold. And that's really what we want to talk about. When's the next time it's going to get cold? Well, for that, it's a cold snap. And it's going to be next Monday. I know it's early, it's Tuesday, but we're talking next week. But I wanted to give you the first alert. You could put it in your day planner, put it in your machine, onto your little device, and say, hey, it's going to get cold the beginning part of next week because of a cold front. We're talking 50s and overnight lows in the 30s. So there's your first alert to the next cold snap next week. That's the next big thing. We'll keep you posted. Also, on a closer situation as far as what we can expect into tomorrow. We'll see some clouds, but notice the rain showers just down to our south. They'll start to sneak up as well as we move on into the next couple of days. So a little bit unsettled as far as that chance of rain will come back with us. I don't expect that into this evening or tonight, but from Charleston over to Moncks Corner back to Georgetown and Walterboro, still mostly cloudy as we speak. Live picture, our home telecom sky cam. It's right over there at the Volvo Car Stadium. Pretty shot right there. That's a live picture as you take a look at the Volvo Car Stadium at 63. We got to 69. 48% humidity, east to southeast wind at about 7 miles an hour. Let's go out to Georgetown now. 57 for you folks up in beautiful Georgetown. 57 Kingstree. Moncks Corner at 63. Still some 60s back over to Somerville and Walterboro down along the coast. A few upper 50s. Folly now at 59 degrees. Now if you're going out this evening, let's plan that for you hour by hour so you can go out for that grocery run. Again, maybe a light jacket, otherwise upper 50s at 8 o'clock, about 57, 9 o'clock, 57, 10 o'clock, 56. By news time, around 56. Still plenty of clouds to deal with, but again, I don't expect the showers until probably scattered about more tomorrow afternoon. So clouds overnight tonight. High pressure will push off to the east. We're going to tap some of that moisture down to the south as we move into the next couple of days. So clouds and a few scattered showers. In fact, this is what Future Tracker does. It shows us the weather before it happens. Out the door tomorrow morning, just mostly cloudy skies. I'll put the clock into motion. By lunchtime tomorrow, look at this. Clouds, maybe a few peaks of sun, but after lunch, see the clock? A couple of raindrops not out of the question as we head to tomorrow afternoon. And check this out. As we head for Thursday, we're going to jump 2 days in advance now, so you have the first alert. Boom, here comes the better chance of rain showers. So bottom line, tomorrow a couple of showers possible, but Thursday, look at that. by afternoon, we're talking about a better chance of rain. So bottom line, our eye, of course, is always on your next 24 hours. And again, cloudy, cool evening, mostly cloudy for Wednesday. Showers return scattered, not all day. 73 for tomorrow. Winds are going to be southeast at about 5 to 10. Got a low tide at about 8:36 in the morning. And of course, we always start with your weekend first. Are you ready for planning the upcoming weekend? Just in case we might need that umbrella. 73 on Friday, 73 Saturday, and then a little cooler on Sunday. Notice we keep that chance at about 30% into the weekend. And again, next couple of days we stay in the 70s, 73, 72. Good chance on Thursday. We just saw that on the future tracker. By the weekend, we stay in the 70s, Sunday upper 60s, and then boom, Monday, Tuesday, we talked about that cold snap. That's the one I just gave you the first alert to. We're going to see overnight lows in the 30s, it looks like, even a few upper 20s by the beginning part of next week. More on that coming up here, new at 7. Back to you guys.
Okay, we have more on the breaking news out of Hugie right now.
The Berkeley County Sheriff's Office, Debbie, is on the scene of what they're calling an active shooter situation.
And we want you to take a look at this picture. This is from the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office. It shows a car with what looks like a number of bullet holes there. You see it. This is coming from the Berkeley County Sheriff's Department. It looks like that vehicle has been shot up.
We don't know yet if somebody was shot in this incident in Hugie in Berkeley County in the Francis Marion National Park, but you do see, as Debbie pointed out, look at those bullet holes in that car. We've got Alexis Simmons on the scene, and as soon as we get more information, we will go back to her and bring you the latest.
A news conference is pending. More on that breaking news in West Ashley at the Citadel Mall.
Colby Satterfield just got on the scene. Well, she's been there now for a few minutes. Colby, a heavy police presence there, and you said when you got there, you saw somebody lying on the ground outside Citadel Mall. Have you learned any more about that person who was injured or shot, perhaps?
Actually, in about the last 10 minutes or so ago, we did see an ambulance leave, and that person I saw getting resuscitated appeared to not be in that ambulance. Now, Bill and Debbie, I've been here nearly an hour. I'm going to step out of the way so you can actually see what's going on here. Now, when I originally got here, this crime scene tape, actually there's people running towards that crime scene area, and officers are telling them no. These are the same people I think I saw them walking around just a little bit ago. You guys, people coming to this area, if you need to go shopping or whatnot, this is not the time and place to be coming to the Citadel Mall. This happened right outside the West MUSC campus. They're building right now at the Citadel Mall. Again, whenever I got here, none of this crime scene tape was up, just that original down there. There was someone lying on the ground, not sure if it was male or female, clearly very, very injured. There were a handful of people surrounding that person lying on the ground, and they were trying to resuscitate that person. It appeared that they were doing chest compressions, and police came up to me and told me that that I needed to move so that way the ambulance could come through. At that point in time, I didn't realize the severity of the incident. Again, you can see this whole area blocked off. People now coming and going into Target. I don't believe going in, but leaving Target. But this whole area completely marked off. This entire area as a crime scene. Lots of law enforcement walking around with flashlights and looking at everything inside this area. Again, this is what's happening at Citadel Mall. We're still awaiting information from police because all we know is that it's a weapons incident. Live in West Ashley, Colby Satterfield, 5 News.
Colby, thank you again. Authorities are calling it a weapons incident. One person is down lying on the ground and apparently has not been taken away by EMS, according to Colby there on the scene.
In the last 4 days, listen to what we've seen. A shooting at Northwoods Mall Friday afternoon, and now some kind of an incident involving a gun at Citadel Mall, perhaps a woman injured, perhaps shot. We'll have more on that coming up a little later. So it's been quite the 4 days here in the Lowcountry at Lowcountry malls.
And we'll soon find out about the situation in Hugie. There will be a news conference, and we will bring it to you as soon as it comes into us.
Now, let's get a quick wrap, if we can, on the weather, Bill.
Yeah, we're looking at 73 tomorrow. Still a shower chance coming back in our weather plan for Wednesday. Better chance on Thursday. We'll update all that new, plus all this updated news new at 7.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Bill Sharp.
And I'm Debbie Sharp.